Year. And while my next guest says the biggest returns may be in the rearview mirror for 2023, you can still find value in AI if you look in three categories in particular. Joining us now with his picks is Allan Boomer, Managing Partner and Chief Investment Officer at Momentum Advisors. Allan, welcome. Good to have you with us. Let's talk, if we could pick up a little bit on the conversation we just had. I'm sure you were able to hear some of it. You say that every recession since World War II started with the unemployment rate rising by at least 0.5%. It rose by 0.3%, but still unemployment is below its long-term average. And you say you're not going to worry until the unemployment rate gets above 4%. It could do that in a month.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. Typically you see a big increase in unemployment. 0.5% is kind of like the tipping point. That's when you start to see the economy move in the other direction. The caveat, though, is that we're at a really, really low level of unemployment. Like typically you see, kind of 6% going up to 7%, or you see 7 going up to 8%. Like here, we're at a level that has been almost unprecedented in terms of how low the unemployment rate is. But I looked at today's jobs report, and I think it was a pretty good report. I mean, the market was expecting 170,000 jobs added. We added 187,000. Also, the labor force participation rate is one of the highest that we've had since the pandemic. And so I think this was a good jobs report. I am concerned that the unemployment rate is starting to tick higher as we've added more workers to the market.
All right, Allan, let's pivot then from economic conversation and move towards market conversation and what you see over, let's say, the next 6 months. We've pointed out earlier in the broadcast that September is traditionally, or at least certainly in the past couple of years, has not been a particularly favorable month for equities. Mm-hmm. What do you see over the next 6 months, and where are the targets of opportunity?
Great question. So I think that, AI is a really, really big, I'm going to call it a secular theme that is going to be fueled to the market for the next years to come. A lot of it has already happened in terms of the optimism around AI. And some of that optimism is rightfully placed. Some of it is, I think, a little overly enthusiastic. But we've seen a lot of focus on companies like NVIDIA, which is, up 200% this year. I just think that there's a lot of other companies that the market is overlooking that will also begin to implement AI in a meaningful way that could be very transformative to their earnings ability. In particular, you've got them up on the screen. So you've got the enablers. That's kind of like round one. That's NVIDIA. The hyperscalers, I think, you're starting to see some excitement around these companies. But there are these other companies like Salesforce and Adobe and Intuit that really have a powerful opportunity to incorporate generative AI into their business models.
How do they do that? What will it look like, Allan?
Sure. I mean, you got to go company by company, right? But if you've got a company like Salesforce, which already has just tremendous amounts of data, and on the other end, you've got salespeople who are looking to better find who to target. Like I met recently with a salesperson who said that she's using AI to figure out who to call at companies and how to reach them. Like, who's the specific point person I need to find that has a budget for this specific thing that I'm selling. And if I can incorporate AI to help me to make better calls, to help me to figure out in a more pinpointed way who to call, and then to have all that data tracked in a much better way, or if I've got AI sort of predicting for me, I come into work and it'll tell me what I should be doing today. I mean, that, again, is going to be very powerful for Salesforce.
Yeah, it's going to do away with bosses.
Right. Listen, I mean, there are some concerns about a lot of, parenting, doctors. There's a lot of things that you could go to the AI for sure.
Yeah, take the AI and take the boss out of the equation. Let the AI tell you what you need to do. I note also that you are favorably inclined towards meta platforms. Why?
Yeah, so Meta, for one, you have to think about a company that the moment they started talking about the metaverse, at first, the market was excited about this new thing. And then the market soured on the metaverse. And, they then pivot to talk about AI. And you see Meta has taken off a ton. I just think this is a really important company that I think has the ability to generate significantly more earnings than what it's generating today. I think even though it's up a ton, it's still trading at a pretty attractive valuation. And I also think that they're positioned to leverage AI as well.